Hello, I'm Congresswoman Chellie Pingree. I'm sorry I couldn't attend this year's E2Tech Expo, but I appreciate the chance to share an update from Washington. First, I want to thank the E2Tech Council and all its members for your work to build a more sustainable economy in Maine. In the environmental challenges our nation faces, there are also opportunities. While making the changes we need to shift to cleaner energy sources, improve public health, and protect clean air, water, and other natural resources, we can also create new jobs and better economic opportunities for our communities. Thank you for making sure Maine is at the forefront of that movement. I'm doing everything I can to support it in Washington. I won't lie, that work has gotten a lot tougher in the last year. President Trump and his administration are doing their best to keep our country from addressing the environmental issues we are already facing. You all know the big-ticket items, like abandoning the Clean Power Plan, embracing fossil fuels, and withdrawing from the Paris Climate Accords. But many smaller actions may have gone under people's radars. The Trump administration's proposed budget decimated the kind of programs that innovative Maine businesses have been using to transition our economy. It proposed slashing or eliminating a range of research and development grant programs and sources of support for rural small businesses. On the House Appropriations Committee, I've worked hard to advocate for these important federal investments. We were able to work in a bipartisan way to restore funding in appropriations bills for many of them, but unfortunately not all. Legislation passed by the House has deep cuts for critical research programs at the Department of Energy's Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy. These backward cuts place the U.S. businesses at a competitive disadvantage in the global race to produce new forms of cleaner energy. I have serious concerns about the Republican tax reform plan as well. Among its provisions are derailing a bipartisan agreement reached on the wind energy production tax credit and phasing out the solar tax credit in 10 years. While I think there are tax reforms that should be made to help small businesses and Maine's working families, I don't think this plan offers those solutions. I plan on opposing it. While I'm fighting against these kinds of efforts, I'm also being proactive in proposing legislation to support innovation in Maine. For instance, Maine communities are doing great work to reduce food waste. What once went into landfills is now being turned into compost or even electricity by local companies. I've introduced the Food Recovery Act to invest in these kinds of initiatives and put more food to use. As challenging as the last year has been, it's also been inspiring to see people newly engaged in advocating for science and the environment. And despite Washington, people's wishes aren't changing. They want healthier products, cleaner energy, more efficient ways to get around, and a brighter future for their children. I think those desires will be met through your innovative work. I just think the federal government needs to do more to be on the right side of history. Thank you again, and take care.